Hello, everybody, and welcome to Church at Home with Rachel for Friday, the 21st of July. It is Feel Good Friday, and today I'm thinking about holidays. How about you? On the 31st of July, a week from Monday, I will wrap up everything for work and I'm going to take over a month of off. I'm going to be on holidays from the 1st of August until Labor Day, and it's going to be glorious. I can't wait. It's been a really long year. But getting ready for holidays, I got thinking about all the preparation, the work it takes to get ready. We're going to go back to Ontario for a family reunion, and then I'm not going to spend too much time in Ontario because we have to go visit different family members. So we're just going to sort of spend a day with each family member. But then we're going to take off through the States and go on a tri- triple D, a triple D um, discovery of good food. Rob is a big fan of Guy Fieri's drive-ins, diners, and dives, and he's been watching a lot of Simon or Simon something, who's been doing a lot of barbecue stuff. So he's got all these places lined up for us to go to, and we're gonna go to Kentucky, and then we're gonna head over to Missouri. We're gonna end up at Mount Rushmore and Yellowstone before heading back up home, and we're just gonna sort of blast our way across the country and enjoy August. I I was booking hotels and everything, and trying to find the cheapest room that isn't a cheap room. You know what I mean? Trying to find all those things, and just to sort of paying attention to the different things that people have. One of the things we're going to do, we're going to go on a tour at Mount Rushmore. It's a whole day. You start with breakfast, a cowboy breakfast, and then you tour around different sites and end up with a dinner and a show. And just a whole day of not having to do the driving ourselves and just letting someone else do the work, and we just get to soak in the scenery. And it got me thinking about one of the best. Some people like to go on destination holidays, like you go to Cuba, go to a resort in Cuba, lay on the beach, go swimming, things like that. Some people like to go skiing, and um, we we have always been sort of drivers. We've lived so many places that we needed to go home to, from like Halifax back to Ontario and things like that, that we just kind of got good at driving, like the 12-hour days, and those are a bit much. So this time around, we decided, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do a couple of 12-hour days, and then mostly 4, 5, 6 hours, and just go from place to place and eat good food and meet neat people, and just really looking forward to doing that. But it got me thinking about, how do other people do holidays? I've got some time off between when I start holidays in the 1st of August and when Rob starts holidays and we leave for our trip. And I've been thinking about, what I want to do, and I've got to relax and not do work. And I keep thinking, okay, so what do I do? I'm going to read books. I'm going to catch up on Netflix. But at the same time, because I've got a good week and a half, I've been thinking about, maybe if it's not too stinking hot, or if it's not smoky, like with the wind from the forest fires blowing down here, I might get out and do some landscaping, like clean up our garden. It's a we When we bought our house, it was in the winter, and we weren't aware of the full state of what the property looked like. And well, I've been keeping up with the grass and things like that. There's all kinds of work that needs to get done, and I thought, what, I might just take my time, make myself some iced tea in a jug, and putter around the yard, do a little trimming here and a little pruning there, and maybe some uprooting other places, and just see how much work can get done. It looks so hideous now that it's not like any work I do is going to make it look worse. It could only help the neighbors think at least she's working on it. But I don't know how to take holidays. I really think, like, what am I going to do? I, a good problem to have, a good problem to have. But it helps. It sometimes it helps me to think about what other people do. And for some people, I know, like for my mom, a holiday for her would be, she'd be in heaven if she could garden. If she could just, I could just imagine, how they have those baseball camps, those fantasy baseball camps or hockey camps and football camps. I think my mom would love it if there was like a fantasy botanical camp. You get to go away someplace and just shadow the gardener for some estate somewhere in England, or the botanical garden somewhere, and just be able to dig in the dirt and deadhead flowers, and just to be, and maybe even learn how to create those things that are so beautiful that people come to see. I'm like, what other kinds of holidays might you get? If you could create your ultimate, this is the perfect holiday, what would it be? I think for me, it would be a mix of a lot of things. I think I'd love to be at some in the foothills, or some place in the woods with a big lake where there was fishing and a dock, and I could go swimming, and I could go out in the boat. But there was a big, we call them Muskoka chairs. I think in the States they call them the Adirondack chairs. The big ones with the wide handles, like armrests. You could put your cup of coffee down on it. Some place where I could just have my book and read, and then go for a swim, and then go out in the lake and come back, and then a good campfire and making s'mores. Now, are you a s'mores person? I am in theory. I love s'mores until I go to eat them. And I love roasting marshmallows because I like the burnt ones. I really like burnt marshmallows. Isn't that silly? I don't know that on my holidays there's going to be any bonfires and s'mores. Maybe at the family reunion, but you never know. But those are the things. Where do our ideas about what a good holiday comes from would look like come from? When you were a kid, did you go away with your family for holidays? What did you do? Some of my favorite holiday times were when we would go to a cottage, and sometimes I remember several times we went to Sabo Beach, and I've talked about that before. The water is just absolutely beautiful, and you walk for, it feels like miles. It's not, but you could probably walk out hundreds and hundreds of yards, and you're not going to get much more past your knee, maybe up to your waist, but then the sandbar comes back up. With climate change, I imagine that's changed too. But just beautiful sand, and then going out in the water and just walking and swimming and puddling. My grandmother used to call it puddling. If we would play in the water in the sink, fill up a bowl of water, a bowl in the sink with water, and we would puddle and get our sleeves wet. She'd just make us like shove our sleeves up, just if we were puddling. But that kind of thing. But I also have great memories of going to my grandparents' farm and puddling in the sink on a rainy day, or playing ping pong over the laundry line. My grandfather built my grandmother a laundry line with a big post, and it was on a bit of a hill, so she could push the post out and lower the laundry line, and then hang the laundry, and then pull the post back in, and it would raise it right up. It was ingenious. And we used to lower the post so that we could play ping pong, or what's it called, with the shuttlecocks, badminton, using ping pong paddles over the laundry line. The things that we did, we would go and pick berries and then ask grandma to make pies. Um, you know, the things that vacations and holidays were for. I sometimes wonder if maybe our society has forgotten that we need those breaks, those holiday breaks, those vacations. We can work our butts off. We can go like stink all year round and then collapse. And it's kind of where I feel like I'm at right now. Or we can make sure that even when we have to go like stink, make sure that we have set aside times, hopefully not just once a year, but maybe pockets of time throughout our months that we know that we can take a break. Whether it's a vacation, going to Cuba, or going to Mexico, or going on a road trip with our spouse or our families, or going to Disney World, or whatever it is we might do, or even just a simple retreat, like a couple of days away at a beach, or at a cottage, or someplace that's not home, where you don't have to do the dishes, and you don't have to clean, and you don't have to shovel, and you don't have to worry about laundry. Well, laundry has to happen, but you know what I mean. Those places and those times when you can just relax and be. Some of the most energizing experiences I have had are simply those times when I have gotten away from the everyday to spend a few days doing something completely different. And when you come back, especially when you haven't done much of anything at all, you haven't read through that tall stack of books you took, you didn't, you fell asleep on the beach instead of going swimming, but you allowed your body and your mind to rest. Those are sometimes the best times to do that. You come back and you can be energetic at work, and you can be a good coworker, and you can put yourself right back into it because you've given yourself a holiday, a time to just be. So yes, I am looking forward to my holiday, and no, there won't be any videos from August the 1st until September the 4th, because I'm going to take time. Now, I will probably record a few things and maybe something will pop up. Probably not, just because of Wi-Fi connections. Um, but when I come back, I will be rested and relaxed. But I'm not gone yet. You'll still see me right through until July 31st. But I look forward to it. And part of what I look forward to about my holiday is the fact that I'm looking forward to coming back from it, to getting back to work, back into the parish, back to doing church at home and gospel on the go, back to celebrating the fact that we have this beautiful life to live. And it'll be so much easier to celebrate it when I've had a month to just breathe. So, what are your plans for this summer? Are you taking any holiday time? What does it mean for you to relax? What was your favorite holiday as a kid? Let me know. Help me to understand. And if you have ideas, okay, if you have ideas for books for me to read, I already have a stack of books. But if you want to give me ideas for books, I do have a list started that someday when I retire, maybe I'll get to. But what kinds of things did you do appreciate? And by the way, if you live or if you know anything, if you've ever been to Mount Rushmore, Yellowstone, we're not outdoorsy people, so we're not going white water rafting or anything. But if there are things we need to do, comment and let me know the things to look for as we travel across the Midwest looking for good barbecue spots. And if you have any favorite restaurants along the route, let me know. Have a great weekend, everybody. I will see you if you choose to watch on Sunday for Gospel on the Go. We're going to transfer the Feast of St. Mary because we are having our joint Dayspring service in Edgerton. And then again on Monday for Church at Home with Rachel. Have a wonderful weekend. God bless. Stay cool if you can. If you're in a place that's getting the smoke from Canada, stay in, keep your windows closed, and stay healthy. God bless you. Don't ever forget, I love you all. Have a great weekend.